Hello guys, welcome back to Bookmas. So in today's video we're going to be reading Holiday Romances for 24 Hours. This was the Bookmas video that I was so excited for when I planned out all my videos, and I could not be more excited. Like, I have been waiting to read these holiday romances for ages. They've been on my Kindle, on my shelf, just waiting for me for today. So yeah, let me introduce you guys to the TBR. So the only physical book that I've got and will definitely be reading is You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince by Timothy Janofsky. So this book is about Matthew Prince. He is somewhat of a celebrity. I don't actually know what he does. I think he's just young and rich and in the public eye. He basically has a publicity nightmare and ends up being sent to his grandparents to stay for the holiday season, basically to get out of the public eye and until the media circus kind of calms down. He is, as the title suggests, like a massive Grinch. Like, he's not a big fan of Christmas. He steps in to be the coordinator of this charity gala in order to be able to leave early on good behaviour. So anyway, obviously it's a romance. So he ends up falling for this guy called Hector, who I think might be the sunshine to his grumpy. I am so excited to start this one. I think I should start it first just as it's the only book on my actual physical TBR and December TBR, and then the rest of the books are on my Kindle, so I'm just gonna have a look. I think there are so many options to choose from. I was so excited I downloaded like a million romances. Okay, so we've got My December Darling by Lauren Asher, The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score, The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore, and then we've got a whole bunch of kind of novella slash short stories. It's basically a bunch of different romance authors have got together to write short stories for one big Christmas romance book. So there are 5 of these little Christmas novellas, and I will be trying to get through each and every single one of those during this readathon. I downloaded them on Kindle Unlimited, but they also have that thing where they like magically get transferred to Audible as well, so I can also listen to these. So I've also got Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrane and Set the Record Straight by Hannah Bonham Young. So my plan is definitely to start this physically today, although I might actually read one of the novellas first just to get the ball rolling. I need to actually finish editing my last vlog and get that uploaded, do the thumbnail and the title and everything like that. So I might actually pop on the first audiobook, which I think might be the Ali Hazelwood one. I'm gonna check if there's a particular order you have to read those ones in. Okay, so the collection's called Under the Mistletoe. The first one is Ali Hazelwood's and it's called Cruel Winter with You, so I'll pop the cover on screen. It's really cute. It's got a cute little snow globe on it and Christmas lights. All newly minted pediatrician Jamie Mallet wants is to borrow a roasting pan for Christmas dinner. Unfortunately, that requires her to interact with Mark, her best friend's troublemaking brother, who's now a tech billionaire. He's the one that got away. She's the one who broke his heart. Outside, a howling blizzard. Inside, a crackling fire. Suddenly being snowbound with a man she never expected to see again might not be such a bad way to spend a winter's night. That just sounds super dreamy. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to start with. I'm going to put the audiobook on, like I said, while I'm finishing editing up my last vlog and getting that uploaded. And then after that, we will be getting into our first physical book. So yeah, welcome to the readathon, guys. Get cozy, get yourself a hot chocolate or a cup of tea, and let's start reading. Hello everyone. So it is, I think, an hour into the readathon now. Yeah, literally just coming up to an hour now. My vlog has been uploaded and I did the thumbnail and everything while I listened to the first story in the Under the Mistletoe collection. So I'm now halfway through the Ali Hazelwood one, Cruel Winter with You. And it starts off with our main character Jamie. She goes over to her like best friend's family home during a snowstorm to pick something up for her parents for Christmas, but then ends up having to stay there because the snow's so bad. But I think the only person at the house is Mark, who is her childhood's best friend's younger brother. And you quickly realise that the two of them had history. So then Ali Hazelwood takes us all the way back to the beginning, literally to the beginning of when Mark is born and Jamie holds him for the first time. And then it goes throughout their entire childhood and teenage years. Mark becoming becoming popular at school and like getting older and distancing himself from his sister and her best friend Jamie. And as they get older, there's clearly a little bit there between them, but neither one of them is acknowledging it until one day the sister exposes him for having a crush on Jamie. Now I'm halfway through the book, literally 51% of the way through. Not book, like novella short story. It's literally 70 pages. But yeah, nothing's ever happened between them, but now he's kind of like declaring his interest in her. Ali Hazelwood is truly a romantic genius in my eyes because her character's chemistry is always off the charts and always believable. I'm so happy with the way this novella is structured and how we went back to the beginning and got those like cute little moments through growing up together. I already know that I'm gonna wish that this was a full-length novel. Like, why is this so short? Sorry, I'm incredibly backlit and I'm not digging what's going on with my fringe bits. Like, why are they shaped like that? Oh my god. Anyway, so I finished my first novella of the readathon, Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood, and I'm not going to rate any of the little novellas in that collection until I finish all of them, so I can kind of, I guess, rate them not against each other but like with each other. And like, I don't know, I have a feeling I'm gonna rate this one 4 or 5 stars, but I just need to read the other ones to like solidify the rating. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, but I do really still wish that it was like a full-length novel. I would have really enjoyed more from those characters. I think it could have been made into a full novel, like their whole kind of childhood and adolescent years and then like snippets throughout adulthood. Yeah, I just really liked it, but obviously with a lot of novellas it's going to be a little bit rushed towards the end to kind of make it satisfying. But yeah, and then you had the kind of classic Ali Hazelwood smut scene at the end. So yeah, it was all there really. I feel like even my phone doesn't recognize my face because of these silly bangs. Anyway, so we are now just before 2 hours into the readathon, so I've still got 22 hours to go, and I think I'm gonna start my physical book now. I am going to get into this one, and I've told myself I won't be eating dinner until I'm halfway through this book. I don't know why I make these rules for myself. I don't know why I make things harder for myself than they need to be. I just think it would be a really good goal to get through half of this before like I take a break. So I'm going to try and read the first half all in one sitting, and we'll see how we go, because it is, as you can kind of see in the corner there, very small text. Hello everyone, so it is now just before 7, but I'm on chapter 8, so 52 pages into You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince. I don't think I showed the cover properly, but this is what it looks like. For a cartoon cover, I think it is actually super cute. Like, they're not my favourite covers ever, but I really like the green on this and like the Christmassy vibe. But yeah, this book is so entertaining so far. Like, the first chapter, I wasn't really into it, but once we met the love interest Hector, it's like another chemistry off the charts situation. So basically our main character Matthew, he has gone and bought an island because he's this little rich kid. He's grown up rich and he really exploits it, and he's basically a party boy. He's gone one step too far and bought a whole island, and his parents have decided to ship him off to his grandparents in Massachusetts to stay for like a whole month. So that's where we find him at the beginning of the book. He's on the drive over there, and when he arrives he realizes that one other person is staying at his grandparents' house. It's this local college student called Hector, and he is like very much lumberjack vibes. Matthew's grandfather is actually Hector's English lit professor, so that's how they know each other, and that's why Hector's staying in their kind of like basement cottage situation. Matthew ends up having to bunk with him, and literally it's bunk beds. This is literally the sharing a bed trope if the bed was a bunk bed, but they completely get off on the wrong foot because Matthew is so bratty. The title is accurate. He is kind of mean, he's a bit cruel, very bratty and self-centered, so obviously Hector doesn't really like him. him, and I don't blame Hector at all, but there is some level of chemistry there. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It's actually so funny, like I found myself giggling. It's just making me feel incredibly warm and fuzzy and happy reading this. Unfortunately, I'm not making as much progress as I was hoping to, so yeah, I don't really know what to do now because I do have to eat dinner at some point, and then when I do, I think I'm going to switch over to the audiobook of the next Under the Mistletoe collection novella. Under the mistletoe with you, shawty with you. Oh, okay, it's the Tessa Bailey one. It's called Merry Ever After. It's about a single mother working in a thrift store, a gentle giant farmer who can't find jeans that fit. When opposites attract, they find themselves making alterations in more ways than one in this smoking hot shot story. To be honest with you, that premise doesn't like grab my attention straight away, but I am going to be happy just to pop the audiobook on and just see what I think. So yeah, this will be a little taste test of Tessa Bailey for me. Was not what I was expecting at all. Sorry, why didn't anybody warn me that that was going to be so... Yeah, that was like 90% smart. I have to say, it was really well written. I did enjoy the actual plot, like what there was of it. I thought it was like a really sweet romance. Obviously there were a lot of spicy things mixed in, but the actual like core of the romance, the two characters, I did think that was really sweet. So yeah, I don't really know where I'm going to be rating that. Definitely didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Ali Hazelwood's, but yeah, I don't know if any of them are going to top that first one. So yeah, we will see, we will see. And now we are just under 5.5 hours into the readathon, so I'm going to get back to reading You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince. I think my plan with this one is still to get to halfway before switching over to anything else. I feel like it would be really nice to read another one of those short stories before I go to sleep, and I am going to try and stay up as long as possible. I don't know how far I'll make it before I inevitably start getting fidgety leg, but I will try my hardest to stay up late and get up as early as possible if I fall asleep. Oh my god, I don't even want to see my eye bags right now, but yeah, as you can probably tell, it's quite a bit later and I'm on page 137 of You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince, so literally 10 pages under halfway. Currently on chapter 18. You guys, this is actually so cute. I was not expecting how much I was gonna love this book. Incredibly cute. I love all of the side characters, which I think is the tell of a really good romance. You're not just waiting for the main character and the love interest to be on page, like you're actually enjoying reading it when it's like the main character and a friend or someone they've just met or their grandparents or whatever. And that's exactly how I feel about this book. Like, I'm just interested in the town and I love Noelle. I think she might be my favourite character. So yeah, this is actually a major success. I was not expecting that. But anyway, I am gonna head upstairs now. We're gonna take this party upstairs. I think it's nearly 1 AM. I'm gonna start the audiobook for All by My Elf, which is the third short story in the Under the Mistletoe collection. Good morning, everyone. I feel like death. I stayed up till I think just a little bit past 2 AM to finish one of the novellas. So I finished All by My Elf by Olivia Dade last night before I went to sleep, and I did enjoy it. I think maybe because I was tired, like I wasn't able to pay as much attention as I was with the previous two, but it was basically about a bunch of professors, and this is the part that I missed, like I don't really understand. I think over the holiday period they were manning this food truck, and I think it was for charity or like fundraising purposes for the university or the college, but I honestly couldn't tell you more than that. Anyway, our main character, she's like been obsessed with this one professor called William for months, since she started her job basically, and she didn't know if it was reciprocated, but then she sees him talking to her best friend a lot, Claudia, and she basically assumes that they're getting together because they're kind of like going aside a lot and talking just amongst them two, and it's like quite secretive. So she sets her feelings aside because she realizes that her best friend is into him, and so it's this massive like miscommunication trope. If you don't like miscommunication, then you're not gonna like this story. I did think it was quite well paced though, like I did enjoy it and it was quite witty at times. But yeah, obviously the miscommunication ends up getting fixed. The two of them are trapped in the van on a highway. There's been an accident ahead, and because it's snowing so hard, no emergency services can get to the accident, so they're basically trapped there for like I think a good few hours, and that's when it all comes out. So yeah, that one was cute and it was a nice one to kind of fall asleep to. And then this morning I was being an elf and writing all my Christmas cards to send out. I realised I don't really have much time to do it because I'm going to my parents very soon, so yeah, I quickly did all of those this morning. I listened to Merriment and Mayhem while I was writing those, and that's the 4th novella and it's by Alexandria Bellefleur. That one was okay. I like the premise that basically this woman, the main character, keeps getting in trouble to a point where the emergency services keeps getting called in this small town, and the first thing she does is set her oven on fire while she's baking cookies, and then the second thing she does is try to string up lights on a roof and basically falls off the roof and is hanging off the drain pipe which is all super comical. And to be honest with you, I love their interactions and I love the like little flirtatious banter. Like he was saying, you know, you could have just like called me if you wanted to see me again, which I think was really cute. But then I kind of like lost interest throughout the rest of the story, like once they'd actually kind of like got together, because it was pretty much just like smart and I really didn't care that much about that part. I feel like this collection of novellas is like going slightly downhill. Like with every single read I feel like I'm just losing interest, and maybe it's because I'm just being overexposed to romance right now. I think it's the smutty parts that I've been like too much. It gets to a point where like I really don't care and like it's not as effective like when I'm reading it over and over again. And because these are romance novellas, they all kind of follow that same pattern, and I just wish one of them would be a little bit different and end a little bit differently, but they're all so similar like by the end that they all kind of like merge into one. I've got one story left. It's called Only Santa's in the Building and it's by Alexis Daria. She's written some really popular romance, so I actually have higher hopes a little bit for this story, but I don't want to get my hopes up, to be honest. Anyway, I haven't made that much more progress with this one, but I did read another chapter and a half this morning, so I'm now on page 150. I'm over halfway, but only just. This is turning into a bit of a nightmare because I thought this would be quite a quick read and that I'd be able to go on to another full-length novel during this readathon, but now I'm just thinking how long it took me to read the first half. Like how long is it going to take me to get through the second half? Like am I going to be able to do it in time? I think I've got 5 hours left of the readathon now, so I really need to hurry up. We'll see how I go. I did look at the other options last night and I really like the idea of My December Darling by Lauren Asher. The other ones felt like too similar to what I've been reading, whereas that one kind of like stood out a little bit more. I'm pretty sure the main character is at her ex's wedding. I think she's the maid of honor because he's getting married either to like her best friend or her sister, something like that. It sounds really strange, but then I think she ends up falling for the best man, which was her ex's best friend, and I think it's a whole story of like if she'd only met him first she would have gone for him and it would have been right. So honestly that sounds like my kind of story. It just sounds really dramatic and entertaining, so I think I'm going to try and at least start that if I can during this readathon. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about tackling this one first because I think the page count is super deceiving, this being under 300 pages, because the text is so tiny. It feels more like a 400 page book, to be honest. But anyway, I'm starving, I'm in desperate need of a coffee, so we're going to taste test the cake batter cold brew that I got from Emma Chamberlain. I chose cake batter today because I thought that was like the cutest sounding one for a romance readathon. So yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs. I think I'm gonna make pancakes because I enjoyed doing that last time, and have my cold brew. Hi everyone, so I'm actually at my parents' house. It's been a good couple of days. I did finish the readathon, I just didn't round it up for you guys. So long story short, Jamshad had an operation, like quite a big one recently, and originally I wasn't going to be able to like visit him before going to my parents for Christmas just because he was worried about seeing too many people and the chance of getting an infection or getting sick or anything like that. But yeah, as soon as he actually gave me the okay to come over, because he just wanted to see me before Christmas, I rushed over there pretty much straight away. So yeah, I didn't get to wrap this up that afternoon, but I've just been editing today and I thought that I would give you guys my final thoughts and give a little ranking of all of the books that I read. So I ended up finishing Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. That one was basically about this woman who had moved into an apartment complex. She kept kind of bumping into the upstairs neighbour. He was like in the flat directly above her, and then leading up to Christmas she started getting these like little Christmas ornaments on her door, or like at her door. There's this big annual Christmas party that happens at the apartment complex, and after that she actually finds out that he was the one that was sending her all the Christmas ornaments, which was really sweet. He was crafting them himself. It was like nothing special, to be honest, as far as the actual novella went. I feel like one of the least exciting premises out of all of them, but I ended up enjoying it more than a couple of the others. So yeah, I think it was a good way to like round up that collection of novellas. But yeah, all in all, like I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. I thought that it would just be a bit more varied and a bit more exciting. Like I said earlier in the vlog, like I just think that a lot of them were super formulaic, and because of the nature of it being like a romance novella, it had to be like wrapped up quite quickly and like hit all the beats. I just feel like it wasn't a great curated collection. I don't think the stories really went well together. It's even suggested that you read them all in one go, like I did. So like I didn't do anything wrong by reading them all in one go, but I just felt like it was too much of the same. But I also finished You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince, and that was such a great read for the readathon. It did take me longer than expected, but I did manage to finish it in time, which I was really proud of. And yeah, I thought it was brilliant. It kind of read like a movie. Like I read in the acknowledgements that the author took major inspiration from, I think it's ABC Family movies. I don't think I've ever watched one of those, and I could definitely see it as a movie in front of me. I really like the conflict as well. It was a little bit predictable, but I did still think it was like really entertaining. I was super into it the whole way through, all the way to the end. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I haven't actually rated it yet, but yeah, if I had to rate it now on the spot, I would probably give it 4 stars. The only thing is I wish there was more of Noelle. Like I said, she was my favorite character. If the author ever wrote like a little novella or a whole book about Noelle and like her romance, because she does have a romance, then I would read that straight away. Okay, so if I had to rank all of the books that I read during this readathon, I think at the top would be You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince, just because I could really get into the story. I love the romance and the setting and like everything about it, like the plot, not even just the romance plot, but like the plot and like what was going on in the town, and Matthew's character development. I thought that was really well done. So yeah, that one would be at the top for me. It gave me all the feels. I was giggling, it made me laugh, it made me happy, like loved it. Then second obviously would be Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. I think that one is the best romance novella I've ever read, like even outside of this readathon, so I would give that one 4 stars. Obviously my main complaint is that I just wish it was longer. I'd probably give third place to All by My Elf, which is the one that I read late at night. I would actually reread this one because I think because I was so tired, I kind of like missed a lot of the context and I found myself drifting off a lot, but not because of the story. I was actually super interested in the plot, and I just thought out of all of the stories it was just a little bit more different. Like you had the whole being stranded in a truck on the highway. I genuinely like the characters the best out of a lot of these novellas. Then Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. Both of those were 3 stars for me. And then for 5th and 6th, you know what, I'm gonna give Merriment and Mayhem number 5. I actually really like the premise of it. Being the woman that always gets into trouble and the fireman coming to help her, I just really like that dynamic, even though I got a little bit bored towards the end. And then Merry Ever After will have to go in 6th place. They both got 2 stars, to be honest, so it's kind of interchangeable. Merry Ever After would have been so much better if it was a bit lighter on the smut. So yeah, that's all that I read during this readathon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry again that I didn't wrap this up sooner. I hope you guys are having the best day, and I will see you very shortly with another video, my end of year book tag. Bye.